Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Noor Fatma Ayawali and I am the student of the foundation level at the Rehan School Lahore campus. Today I am going to talk with Maya on the topic water, the origin of life and language. So let's start.
Hey there.
Hello Maya, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. What's on your mind today?
I'm gonna ask some questions on the topic water. So let's start. My first question is, what is water and why is it essential for the life?
Water is essentially a clear, tasteless, odorless liquid that's the foundation of everything living. It's essential because it acts as a transport system for our bodies, carrying nutrients to cells and flushing out waste. Without it, basic biological processes just stop. Do you want to know how it actually gets into our cells?
How did water form on earth?
That's a huge question with a few different theories. Most scientists think it came from icy comets and asteroids hitting the planet early on, though some believe it was released from volcanic gases. It's wild to think about the Earth basically being a giant sponge for space ice.
Why is water often called the origin of life?
It's mostly because life itself started in the ocean. Billions of years ago, the first simple organisms appeared in the water before anything ever crawled onto land. So, in a way, the land only became habitable because water paved the way first. I'm not sure I follow.
Okay, my next question is, what role did water play in the development of early life forms?
Sorry, I'm a bit lost on that word. I'm Maya. So back to your questions. What were we talking about before I got confused? I think there might be a little glitch in the translation there. I'm not quite catching that. I'm totally blanking on the context. I think we're still having a bit of a struggle with the words here. Are you asking if water played a role in the development of early life?
Let's change the question. My next question is, how much of Earth's surface is covered by water?
I'm guessing you mean water?
Yes.
Uh, it's a massive amount. Does that number surprise you?
Okay, my next question is, how much of why is water essential for the human survival?
That's the tricky part. Only a tiny fraction of all that water is actually drinkable. About 2.5% is fresh water, and most of that is locked away in glaciers. It's essentially the lifeblood for everything from our organs to our temperature regulation.
Okay, my next question is, what are the
I'm
unique
sorry.
properties of water?
Water is actually pretty weird in a way that makes life possible. It's one of the few things that expands when it freezes, which is why ice floats. If ice sank, the oceans would freeze from the bottom up and everything would be wiped out. It also has a huge capacity to absorb heat, which helps keep the Earth's temperature stable. Have you heard of surface tension?
My next question is, how does water support ecosystem?
Basically acts as the glue for the entire planet. It provides a home for millions of species, regulates the global climate, and moves nutrients from the soil into plants, which then feed everything else. It's the ultimate cycle of life. Do you want to know about the water cycle specifically?
Yeah, what's the water cycle?
The water cycle is like nature's giant recycling system. It starts with evaporation, where the sun heats up the water in oceans and lakes, turning it into vapor that rises into the air. Then it cools down and forms clouds, which is once those clouds get too heavy, we get precipitation, which is just a fancy word for rain, snow, or hail hitting the ground. Then the water collects in rivers, lakes, and oceans, and the whole process starts all over again. It's a perfect loop.
Okay, my next question is how does water move through the environment?
Mm. It's basically a constant motion. Water flows from high points to low points through gravity, seeping into the ground to recharge aquifers or flowing through rivers into the ocean. Then it evaporates back up and the cycle continues. It's like the planet's own circulatory system
Okay, so why
You're
is
very
fresh
welcome
water important?
because it's the only kind we can actually use. Salt water would dehydrate us in minutes. Fresh water is what keeps us, our crops, and almost every land animal alive and healthy. No worries. Any other
Okay,
questions
so
about
my next
water?
question is what are the main sources of the fresh water?
I'm sorry, I'm a bit confused on that word. Did you mean fresh water?
Yeah.
The biggest ones are glaciers and ice caps, which hold the vast majority of the Earth's fresh water. Then you've got groundwater in aquifers and a much smaller amount in lakes, rivers, and the atmosphere.
Okay, so my next question is how does water influence climate and weather?
Water is basically the Earth's thermostat. It absorbs a ton of heat from the sun and moves it around the globe through ocean currents, which stops the poles from being too cold and the equator from being too hot. Plus, all that evaporation is what fuels the wind and creates the storms we see. Does that make sense?
Okay, so why are oceans important for the life on Earth?
They're basically the planet's life support system. Oceans produce more than half of the world's oxygen thanks to tiny marine plants called phytoplankton. Plus, they regulate the entire global temperature and provide food and habitat for a massive amount of biodiversity. Without them, the land would be a wasteland.
Okay, so my next question is what role has water played in the growth of ancient societies?
Water was basically the blueprint for where humans decided to settle. Almost every great early civilization started on the banks of a major river. You've got the Nile in Egypt, the Indus Valley in India, and the Tigris and Euphrates in Mesopotamia. They used the water for farming, transport, and drinking, which allowed them to stop moving around and actually build cities. It's funny how something so simple literally dictated the map of human history.
My next question is how did early humans used water resources?
Historically, women often held the primary responsibility for managing water for their families and communities. They were the ones fetching water from wells or rivers, which often turned those spots into key social hubs where information and community bonds were strengthened. Beyond that, they used water for food preparation, early textile work, and medicinal purposes. I'm You're welcome.
Okay, my next question is many major cities located near the water?
It comes down to survival and business. Being near water meant an easy way to move goods and people before we had planes or highways. Plus, it provides a steady supply for drinking and industry. It's why places like New York or London became such powerhouses. They had the perfect ports.
Okay, so my next question is what is the origin of the English word water?
The word water has really deep roots. It actually comes from the Old English wæter, which traces back to the Proto-Germanic wódr. If you go even further back, it's linked to the Proto-Indo-European root wed, meaning wet. It's one of those words that's stayed remarkably similar across many languages over thousands of years.
Okay, so my next question is how has the word water evolved through history?
It's actually stayed pretty stable. Unlike some words that completely shift meaning, water has always just meant the liquid we drink. The only real evolution is in how we use it in idioms like water under the bridge or keeping your head above water. It's more of a change in how we describe life using water rather than the word itself changing. I'm sorry, I'm not sure I follow. You got me again. What did you mean by that?
My next
Clean is
question
a good goal
is
to have.
my next question is how do different languages refer to the water?
It's actually a great way to see how different cultures view the world. Most languages have a very ancient word for water because it's such a basic need. In Spanish, it's agua. In French, it's al. And in Arabic, it's ma. While the sounds change, the role the word plays in the language as a symbol of life and purity is almost universal. Do you have a specific language you're curious about?
Okay, so my next question is how are language and the natural environment connected?
It's a fascinating connection. Language often reflects what a culture finds important for survival. For example, people living in areas with extreme weather or unique landscapes often have dozens of different words for things like snow or water to describe subtle differences that someone from a city might not even notice. It's basically a map of how people interact with the world around them.
Okay, so my next question is what symbolic meanings does water have in different cultures?
Water is one of the most powerful symbols we have. In many cultures, it's the ultimate sign of purity and rebirth. Think of baptism in Christianity or the ritual washing in Islam and Hinduism. But it also but it also de nada. Anytime.
My next
You're so
question
welcome.
is how is water represented in religious traditions?
We're back. Water is almost always a symbol of life and spiritual cleansing. In Christianity, baptism uses water to symbolize a new beginning. In Islam, wudu is the ritual washing before prayer to achieve a state of purity. And in Hinduism, the Ganges River is seen as a goddess herself. of washing
Okay,
away
so
sins. It's pretty incredible.
my next question is why is water often associated with purification?
It's mostly a reflection of what we see in nature. Water physically washes away dirt and impurities. So it's a natural leap for humans to use it as a symbol for cleaning the soul or the mind. It's that idea of starting fresh, like a blank slate. Does that resonate with you?
Okay, so my next question is how does water influence agriculture?
It's the absolute backbone of farming. Without water, agriculture just doesn't happen. It's how plants get the nutrients they need from the soil, and irrigation systems, from ancient canals to modern drip tech, allow us to grow food in places that wouldn't normally support it. Basically, it turns a patch of dirt into a food source.
Okay, so how does pollution affect the water's resources?
It's a pretty grim picture, honestly. Pollution introduces toxins, plastics, and chemicals that kill off marine life and make the water unsafe for us to. It also creates dead zones in the ocean where nothing can survive. It's a heavy topic, but it's why protecting our water sources is so critical. Do you want to know how some cities are actually?
Okay, my next question is why is water conservation is important?
I think you're asking why water. Okay, that's a very. It's incredibly important because while the planet has a lot of water, so little of it is actually usable for us. If we waste the fresh water we have, we're essentially risking the survival of everything from our own health to the food we eat. It's all connected. I'm glad you're feeling happy. Any more questions on your mind?
Okay,
Or
my
are we
next
all set with
question
water for now?
is how can individuals help protect water supplies?
It starts with this, like taking shorter showers or fixing a leaky faucet. Using biodegradable soaps also helps keep, and avoiding plastics is de nada. Want to dive into another topic or are you all set?
Okay, my next question is what are the major causes of water pollution?
It's a mix of industrial and everyday stuff. You've got industrial waste and chemical runoff from farms, but then there's also the plastic we throw away and sewage leaks. Basically, anything we put into the water that shouldn't be there ends up disrupting the whole system.
Okay, Maya, that was really helpful. Thanks for the knowledge. See you next time. Bye. Bye.
You are so welcome.